So it turns out the old woman is a cultist.
Ooh.
A cultist, I tell you.
I would like to know this one.
And the little clicky girl with the head cut off that got decapitated on the road
She's clicking.
had some sort of god in her,
A god?
which transferred to her brother. And after the woman, the mother saws her head off. These headless bodies go floating up into a treehouse where a bunch of repulsive old geezers are waiting to praise him. It's absolutely horrible. You awaken from an eternal slumber as a god and have to see all that wretched flesh.
The first one would want to ask, why are they letting geezers do things like such that?
Privilege.
Privilege?
The privilege of the senior set.
Much like we're getting to.
Quite.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
Oh, hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us by unpopular demand and by no request whatsoever. This is the titillizing tale of a Tinseltown Toy House Troll Tea Party turned topsy-turvy on a truly terrible Tuesday.
Yes.
We are the kids that are not the cool ones in the back of the bus and not the nerd that's sitting adjacent to the driver, but the one that is behind the driver where he looks at you in the mirror and says, "Do not get the F up." We have a great show for you today.
Quite. Yes, a couple of weeks ago we invited you into the St. Mary's Infant Asylum tea parlor for a conversation with a man of the plum, an interview of
It
sorts.
was such a party. It was a great party.
It was an excellent party, and everyone had a joyous time.
Yes, the dog especially.
Splendid.
Yes,
Splendid has her friend Tater here today, too. Tater's our guest of honor.
Oh.
But due to popular demand, which we did not receive, we decided to invite you in once again for another episode of our lovely tea party.
Tea party.
So, Sergio, who do we have today?
Ooh, it's a man. I do not know him too well,
Oh,
but he does stuff on occasion at the asylum.
yes.
But since we don't know him, we're gonna get to know him.
Excellent.
His name is Scott. You may recognize him. We don't. But please, Scott, come.
Yes.
Do that thing that people do.
Come, join us for
Hello,
tea.
gentlemen.
Very good to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh, insolence already. That's splendid. Always the guest of honor.
Yes, nice to meet you, Splendid. Thanks for having me, Splendid.
Yes, but one problem that we see is you've forgotten tea hat. Everyone who comes into our court must wear a tea hat.
Of course, granted, you are not as special as us, although you are a special guest. You should know the court. Yes, you are welcome to be
I
here.
did not mean to step on protocol.
No.
I apologize.
Well, then you'll do exactly as we say then. This is very good to see.
You
So,
are glad to be in our presence.
let's see, what kind of haberdashery? Please put this on your head.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm glad you enjoy it because you'll be wearing it. Yes. Oh.
I need to borrow this.
You can't. It's property of the asylum.
I dare I say, you look like a
Hero.
Spanish conquistador of some sort.
Yes.
Or a man that does things. So Scotch.
I'm ready to pillage. Let's go.
Well, cool. First, we must do what we came here to do.
All right.
Drink tea.
Yes.
Let's drink some tea.
Fillmore! Bring the tea!
Oh, here he comes. Here he
Our
comes.
lovely, sweet, precious Fillmore.
Oh, he's.
Oh,
Hello, Phil. Oh,
he's a
thank you.
special
Oh,
boy with a
oh,
special
thank you.
dream.
Thank you, drink.
Oh
Thank
my
you very much.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Thank you
yes.
so much.
So
Good boy. Good boy.
Fillmore, no, I'll be drinking poison. Thank you.
Scotch.
Yeah.
Would you
Now
like
that
to
we
have
had our
a
tea.
Sure, I would love some.
Cool. Honestly, in this court, it's customary for where we serve ourselves first.
Oh, Fillmore brought shady. Oh, our Fillmore's taking quite a liking to you, I see.
Fillmore.
He's a very special boy.
Fillmore.
Very special.
He seems
Sure.
special.
It's okay. Thank you very much. Yes.
He hasn't had physical contact in quite some time.
But no, Fillmore. Where do you go? No. Come here. Come back.
Oh.
We want to show you about Fillmore. He has his little friend, Cheney, that he has as a friend while he's doing things in which he does.
That's right. He's a beautiful boy with beautiful dreams.
Oh, he's got aspirations. You go.
Yes, dream on, you little dreamer.
Oh, he has so much going for him.
Now, Scoot, as a matter of business,
Yes.
we must discuss why you're here today. For we have questions.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
First, I forgot your sugar. Do you want sugar?
I would not like any sugar. My poison tastes good just with the strychnine.
I would not like it. Would you like any sugar?
I don't know. I'm not tasting my tea yet.
You want sugar?
I think you'd enjoy
You want
some
sugar.
Sure.
You would enjoy some
take
sugar.
a sugar.
Yes, give me sugar, Sergio.
Yes, your sugar. Oh, you're so far away. Just thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for doing what
Yes.
you're doing for us and with us, and thank you.
Have another lump.
One more.
Scotch.
One more.
Sure.
No, that's
Yeah.
for good measure.
All right, good measure.
Yes.
Oh,
that
look
was
at you.
though.
Look at you.
You're not caught missing all the shots. Who is this man?
He's a
is
man of
looking
the carpet, I hear.
What do you do?
He's a man of the carpet.
What do you do? What does that mean?
What is your occupation, sir?
I do a little bit of everything. No, I'm a contractor. I build and remodel, and I'm a musician, and
You play the
Father.
lute?
I could, I guess.
Play the marimba?
I don't know what that marimba is.
Play a glockenspiel?
Glockenspiel,
I can
yes.
do that. Yeah, let's do that.
You
got
do-
one? I'll play
did
one
you
right
do?
now. Yes.
You musician, why are these impossible things?
Sounds like lies.
They are lies. They're total lies.
Now this contracting, what is contracting?
Have you ever drawn up a contract for the devil?
Once. I beat him, but
Are we intrigued to know this tale?
met him out on a dark and dusty crossroads in the middle of the night.
Yes.
I think I've heard that in a
You know
song.
the trick to the devil, when you sell your soul, you just gotta keep running. You can't ever stop. You just gotta keep running. If he catches you, then he's gonna get your soul. So you just gotta keep moving at all times.
It's coincidentally enough, it flashed me back to when we found our young Fillmore.
Fillmore was a very special boy that we found.
Yes, he is and was and is to come.
Even more special with each passing day.
Yes. But this isn't about him. This is about you.
This is about questions.
Yes.
All right.
Questions that we have, that we ponder late at night.
The
after we
latest
get through
nuts.
this
I
show
love it.
business nonsense. And we need help in deciphering them.
Yes, let's go deep.
It's a socio-political discussion.
But first, we want to know you. We have to know you.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you do? You said, what do you do?
I'm a contractor by trade.
Contracts.
So I am a builder.
Is that like a dinosaur?
Yes, that's exactly.
Contract hole?
I pour myself out for money.
Oh,
Oh, we do the same thing! But it's with tea
yes.
and sugar.
I'll whore myself
And-
out for a good cup of tea any day.
I love a good cup of tea.
Do not address her.
She is not a part of this court right now. She is not here.
She is making
She's
sure you
trying to
mind
get
your
my
manners.
attention.
But
Or
your
she is
attention
already-
are here. Are
Now.
here we here.
Right now.
Right, here.
So, let's get on to business.
All right, business.
Sergio, would you like to ask the first question?
Well, you build. Are you a woodman?
A what?
Are you a woodsman?
Yeah.
Are you a woodworker?
I'm a woodworker.
The hard softness and stuff.
I can pretty much fix about anything.
Oh,
How about a broken heart?
ooh.
That's a little harder.
Well,
I haven't
Do you know how to
found
make the
that
world go
yet.
round?
Yes. Love, peace, and gratitude.
pipe dreams.
So you're a carpet man.
True.
Okay, that's
True.
that's what you meant earlier. A carpet man. Okay. Awesome. Well, great. So we want to start you off easy. That's the
That's
real.
the easy questions.
We haven't started with the question.
Oh.
Why are you questioning us in our court?
Let me ask you a question.
See, now we question. Now we start the questioning.
Now,
Scoot, we ask you a question that I believe is close and dear to my heart. Is what do you believe a star is?
What do I believe a star is? A big ball of gas in the universe, or you mean like a star as in a person, famous person?
Well,
That's
it really
up to
just
you,
depends on
my
the question
dear
that's pertaining to you.
man.
What does a star mean to you?
Star means, to me, I guess a star would mean some sort of infinity, some sort of massive universe, and I'm just a little tiny speck.
I'm not that sure if that actually answered the question which I asked.
I don't think I understood the thing that just came out of your mouth.
I don't think you've been talking this whole time.
I have not been.
Cool, because it fell on deaf ears. Our earballs were not working, and they found to be not sensitive enough for this.
Your earballs?
Yes,
Dang
the
earballs.
sensitivity is very important. But sometimes it can be bad, ladies and gentlemen. Don't want the sensitive to take you away.
No.
Passion is important, but remember control. It's all about control.
Lust.
Control.
Madness. Now, since you're a fan of complication, how about a different type of question?
Alright, I like it.
It is a hot August weekend in upstate New York, and a multitude of flower children have filled the property of a gentleman farmer by the name of Max Yazga. Woodstock is living up to its promise of being an Aquarian exposition of 3 days of peace and music. You're wading slowly through a setting overpowered by a pungent, sickening mix of bodily filth and cannabis indica that makes breathing seem as if your lungs are filled with hot cotton. You have only one thought on your brain: to meet the enigmatic and prolific guitar virtuoso known as James Marshall Hendricks, who is just finishing his performance. As you make it to the side stage, you notice two young women, both whose physical image is fair to poor. However, they both hold the credentials that will take you beyond the gate and into the court of Lord Hendricks, and both find you to be a strapping young representation of all they desire. Each promise that they will surrender their credentials in exchange for a quick ribbon volley of sexual escapades, and each reveal another tidbit of knowledge about themselves. One has a scorching case of syphilis, and the other is riddled with a ghoulish bout of gonorrhea, both of which are well-seasoned infections that have not been treated by a medical professional, and you are without a prophylactic. You choose the amorous lass with the gonorrhea for this horrifying lust-fueled exchange, and through the gates you walk. Why do you pick the one with gonorrhea as opposed to the one with syphilis?
Because gonorrhea can be cured.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Can it?
I think so, yeah.
How will it be cured?
With a hammer.
With a hammer. How does this work?
Do you want me to describe it?
Yes, in detail.
Because traditionally, they laid your junk out on a table and hit it with a hammer
What
to
is
get all
this
the
junk you
stuff out.
speak of?
What is junk? Are you talking about
Your-
cans of
your
paper?
phallic
Your
things?
dingleberry, your
Twig and
A
Dingleberries?
dingleberry.
freaking weenie.
That was a great movie. Tim Burton. Kudos.
Tim Burton's finest, if you ask me.
That's right. Good work, good work. I appreciate
Came
it.
from a short film with that kid from Never Ending Story.
Oh, that was a good one too. That was a good one too. You, Scott. It is Scotch, right?
Sometimes.
So, a follow-up to this question.
Okay.
You chose the one with gonorrhea. You find out that after the minute of bliss in which you gave yourself to her, you say to yourself, I'm so glad I got this. But then you leave, finding that the gate that was once holding you back is now fallen down. If you had waited just 5 minutes, you would not have gone through that ordeal. Are you kicking yourself in the face, or do you go back for more?
Am I meeting still? Did I meet Jimi Hendrix because of it?
You
Is it-
tried to.
But I haven't met
You've
him?
been through the gate. That doesn't mean you met him.
Well, then it's not worth it yet. I mean, if I met Jimi Hendrix, it might have been worth it.
I think we all wish we would have met Jimi Hendrix.
I think so.
In exchange for gonorrhea.
No. No. No.
No, I'll just listen to him. I don't need the gonorrhea. I'll pass on the gonorrhea
Yes.
Good.
and the syphilis.
I would.
That's a smart answer to a question
'Cause
that I don't
technically
remember was
didn't choose
asked.
one. Steve chose my role, so I didn't choose. But
Yes, I
definitely
choose
was-
all the roles.
You are the role of what was it you're a conquistador, right? You're a nomad.
Yes.
You're a nomad.
A man of leisure.
A man of leisure, carpet man.
Carpet man.
Carpet man.
Yes, specialized.
This is very good. I enjoy the flavors. It's fantastic.
Is it delicious?
Very delicious.
It's a nice hookah. Can I have some?
Confer. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
What pompous question to ask like this?
Insolence.
That's
They know each
Never
other.
tolerated. Never tolerated. Next question.
my question is, why do you sometimes feel like a little cub in the Sahara, waiting for his father that will never come because his maniacal uncle is always chasing him, thinking that he was actually dead? He always thought he was trying to find him, but was told that he was dead. His family left worried and thought there was no hope ever, much like the coming of, everything else in the court and you in this. Why do you feel like a lost cub?
Hello, Tater.
Oh, hello, Tater. Hello. Answer the question.
So, why do I feel like a lost cub?
Why do you feel like a lost cub?
But I don't feel like a lost cub.
How do you feel?
I feel smashing.
Are you lost in the Sahara?
No.
Then why would you allow me to pose this question to you?
It really makes no sense.
It really does not. No, I don't
Not
understand.
at all.
sense.
Not at all.
Do you
I
believe
should
that
have
my
stopped
breath is
it.
not worth
I should have
me?
stopped it.
You,
We work so hard to provide tea.
we gave you a couch. We gave you sugar.
Haberdasher.
This tea kind of tastes like wine a little bit. How did that?
You have a hat, sir.
Are you saying something about the quality of our tea?
Yeah, it just kind of tastes like wine a little bit. Looks like wine.
Tastes like heaven to me. This is
Well,
a
Fillmore
prophet.
did like you, so
A little too much.
is there really too much when it comes to
That
the
was
air?
a little too much.
Oh, well,
He was
That's-
trying to wrap me up in his chains. He was trying to chain me down.
remember this? Remember this?
No, I do not.
Well, it's a story that happened. You don't need to know.
Not at all.
But it was a story that was great. It was nice. And if we were to tell you, it would have wasted our breath because, honestly, you didn't stop me from the last question. I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
I apologize. I promise to stop you on the next question.
That sounds like a pie crust promise. Easily made and easily broken.
Go ahead and ask me one. Please.
I don't know, Steven. You would go. You're so good.
I'll ask the next question.
Alright, I'll remember for next time.
Listen carefully. The Chinese Opium Wars of the 18th century are in full swing, and you're a cook for the mercenary army of the British East India Company. While you exhibit a dedication and love for your work, your love for opium is greater. By day, you prepare gallons of gruel and numerous meat pies. By night, you ingest copious amounts of opium in one of Nanking's finest dens. And you have a favorite pipe attendant by the name of Chang Hong. Chang Hong makes sure that you have the cleanest pipes, the hottest fires, and the softest pillows, while you lay helpless and aloof under the spell of this elegant intoxicant. Chang Hong regales you with long romantic monologues of his loves and passions in life, for which you meet with an incoherent babble like that of a mewling infant. Over time, Chang Hong has long misinterpreted your nightly visits, your regular selection of him to be your attendant, and your pseudo-drug-induced attentiveness to his innermost thoughts and desires as a return of his undying burning love for you. Chang Hong has assured himself that when the opium wars are finished, that you both will return to foggy London town to spend the rest of your days together, and you begin to notice Chang Hong's romantic glances and flirtatious advances becoming more intense and more frequent. However, you only have one love, and it's a sweet, seductive, narcotic bitch named opium. A new local opium den is opened with a finer product, larger pipes, a cheaper price, an all-female staff, and a free continental breakfast for all customers. You can't resist, but you know that you will have to break the news to Chang Hong. While your feelings for him might not be romantic, Chang Hong has literally been by your side through the best times of your life.
I do like Chang.
Even if those times consist of you frothing at the mouth and babbling on the floor in an opium-induced haze. You know that Chang Hong deserves an explanation, and you must give him one that will satisfy the immense well of sorrow rising within him. What do you tell Chang Hong in order to soften the blow of the fact that he will never see you again?
So I gotta break up with Chang Hong?
Yes. Easy.
In an opium-induced.
But he's been there
haze.
for me through all my opium-induced.
And yet you're breaking up with him and going to a better place.
What kind of
They got
person
better
are
prices.
you?
A drug addict is what it sounds
Oh
like.
my goodness.
They got
Opium.
better prices.
Opium.
And chicks. Mr. Chang, thank you for everything you've done. From the bottom of my heart,
Those poppy seeds, Fields.
I'm not a homosexual, so I'm gonna go with the chicks and the cheaper drugs. I'm sorry, Mr. Chang.
I don't
This
understand
man.
people anymore.
This-
I just
I
don't
don't-
understand
Was that not
these
the
times that we're living in. The attitude people
It does
take.
not concur.
I mean, what should I do?
It does
Should
not
I
do the
brought
things
him
that resonate with
opium
my mind.
or
If
flour?
I were Chang Hong, I'd slit my throat right in front of you and throw the blood on you.
Well, damn. Well, that problem solved.
Not
You're
quite.
dead?
No, Chang's dead.
Chang's dead.
He
Hold
slit
this is
his
a
throat.
completely
There's blood
twisted
on it.
events.
Well,
I have. Ooh. So what do you do?
No, I actually probably shouldn't break up with Chang because what if something happens to the other place and I still need backup of you?
Forward thinking.
so what do you tell him?
That I'm moving out of state.
There's no states in
For
China during the Opium Wars.
There's only dynasties.
I'm moving out of dynasties and we can't be friends anymore.
No bunger's ambition, indeed.
And no more. So you're gonna give up opium because you do not want to hang out with Chang.
Oh no, I'm gonna go to the other place. I just won't see him. I'll just avoid him.
You know, it actually makes
But then
complete
I'll come into
sense
town.
to completely avoid somebody in the same town, hoping you'll never see
I
him.
mean, he's China. There's a
That's
billion
I
people.
think the young children, they call it ghosting.
Oh, fantastic.
So you plan on ghosting Chang Hong?
I get a fake mustache. I'll get elaborate
I feel like there's
backstory.
there's a little bit of dirt growing right there now. You should feel proud of that.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Tato? You
Unlike
like
us, the sophisticated, the royalty in which we
True,
are on
true.
and stuff, we really can't defer that and all that. So, Scoot, it's nice. to
Stop!
have you-
You told me to stop you. Stop.
This
I
is
don't
not
wanna
one of those
upset you.
questions.
Okay.
This be not. I'd appreciate it if you never do that again.
You told me
Ever.
to stop you.
If I tell you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
No.
If I told you to
If
pet
it
that
was
dog,
a-
would you
if
do
it
it?
was a cool bridge.
Pet Tater now.
I will definitely pet Tater. Come here,
But don't
Tater.
touch Splendid.
Tater.
Oh,
He ran
see,
off.
You pay respect to Splendid's guest that she brings to our teapot.
Tater's the cutest. And Splenda's cute too.
that's enough.
Don't touch her.
It's time. It's enough.
Keep your hands off of her.
So, would you consider yourself a fair-skinned man?
A what?
A fair-skinned man.
Yes.
What would you call that color?
Peach.
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 Would you say that all of your body is peach, or some different colorations and stuff?
Well, I guess I work out in the sun, so I am a little bit darker here and a little bit whiter everywhere else.
Ooh. Does that ever
Little
make
bit
you
of a
have
farmer tan.
like any type of trauma, remembrance of what it's like for Mr. Frosty Snowman, and how he came into life by singing to a bunch of little brats, and then he had to wear a hat and became an accountant? Why would Frosty Snowman do something like that? Why would you let a friend do that?
I don't know. It does not sound like a job that I would want to push anybody into.
But you did.
You did,
Well,
Scott.
It's probably
You
good
did
money
push.
with good benefits, and that's probably why. I was like, you know what? You're gonna get good benefits. Go for it. I would have backed him up that way.
Too bad he could not go inside, and that's the biggest terrible thing.
You couldn't go inside where?
We don't know. We don't know Frosty's gentleman. Only you know who this man is.
He could go inside ice skating rinks.
He's an accountant. Why would he just need ice
job
skating?
driving a Zamboni?
I like a Zamboni. I like Zambonis. It's the fastest way to go somewhere with not going anywhere at all.
It's true.
Now, is Bingo the name of the farmer or the dog in the nursery rhyme?
Dude, that's a hard one. I don't know that one. I saw that somewhere not too long ago, and I was trying to figure it out myself.
What conclusion did you come to? And please tell me, cite evidence for your findings.
I came to the conclusion that it had to be the dog because it is a very common dog name, and I've never heard of anybody, a man named Bingo.
But one person might
Without
question,
comment.
why is it that you answered that question so quickly?
Because I know things. I'm horny.
I'll take that. I'll take that. You Nordic son of a you
Sexist
bitch. No.
I'm just a little horny out there, y'all.
Sorry, Fillmore. He is ours.
Stay away, Fillmore.
You don't need to stay away though.
You're
Don't-
chained
no.
to yourself.
Yes.
And I
You
think,
have a friend.
I think before you assume that Bingo's not a man's name, might I remind you of the 1976 comedy sports spectacular, The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, starring Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones, and Billy D. Williams.
Okay.
Bingo.
I'm still gonna go with the dog. Just to keep continuity with the rest of the world.
You started to use words in which the court has not addressed in a while, and I'd appreciate you to refrain from using such words of bigotry and unsolidary.
And in the times we live in.
And in the times we live in, we are confused. I am confused. Do not confuse me more, please.
I'm not.
I will definitely not.
That was
continue.
confusing.
Very confusing.
So, Mr. Carpetman, I have a question for you.
Okay.
In the case of a tropical depression, how is it we can acknowledge its depression but won't ask why it's depressed?
Ooh, that's a good one. Nobody's ever asked.
That's why this court is so great.
This is why it's called our
This is the
lovely
glory
tea
of our
party.
lovely tea party.
Have you not tasted the wine tea?
Yes, I have.
It's sugary and splendid, like the dog.
Splendid,
Yeah,
make sure he
I
behaves.
think you're right. I think we need to confront the hurricanes and give them a way to overcome their depression.
So how would
They
you
won't be so
look
bad.
in a hurricane, telling the hurricane and asking, why are you depressed?
Yes,
can you
how
show
would
us,
you
can you
look?
give us this visual representation of how you will howl at the wind and speak to the moon and what have you?
Well, he's depressed. You can't do that. You got to invite the hurricane in to sit down and have a nice conversation with him.
But how do you know that?
What happened to you as a young man, Hurricane?
I'd
You
imagine.
got to get deep with him, right, Tater?
What if the hurricane said he was molested?
Then we're gonna have to go deep. He's
Oh, my goodness. That doesn't sound like very professional action to me.
It sounds like
It's like a Boy Scout
It's
ad.
a Boy Scouts
The,
problem.
the Boy Scouts.
It's something that we're your tea is looking really good. I hope you are enjoying
It is.
I
It's not,
you know what?
but it's-
You know what, everybody? Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers to Tater.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Tater.
Cheers, Tater.
Cheers to Tater.
Cheers to Tater.
Yeah.
Fillmore, bring me a cigarette and a lighter. Now, while I wait to satisfy my nicotine habit, I'll ask another question.
Please do.
July 1918, Moscow, Russia. Tsar Nicholas and the Romanov family have been executed by the incoming Bolshevik regime. The dynasty has fallen. As one of the Tsar's most trusted advisors, you're forced to flee. Thank you, Fillmore. You're such a lovely boy. Beautiful dreams and aspirations. Thank you, my dear boy.
You clean Cheney too. I see. It's good. It looks good. Very good.
You even brought me a quality lighter. a beautiful sound, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Now, like I was saying, the dynasty has fallen.
Yes, Tsar.
As one of the Tsar's most trusted advisors, you are forced to flee Moscow and escape the same fate as the royal family. You'll make your way into the frigid peaks of the eastern Carpathian Mountains in the Ukraine. As night falls, you begin to feel the deadly grip of hypothermia creeping across your body. As you nestle against the tree in preparation of the slow, grueling death, a Cossack emerges from the shadows. With a long, dark, wiry, coarse display of beard, for which his people are known, the Cossack is a towering, gluttonous titan that you're surprised that his skeletal structure maintains the strength to support the three monstrous folds of corpulent flesh that his layers of clothes are helpless to conceal. Because of the amount of insulating flesh covering his body, the inhospitable weather has no effect on the Cossack. Even though his culture is known for their fierce and unrelenting nature, he is a friendly Cossack who only wishes to prevent your imminent death from the freezing temperatures, and you are willing to do anything to avoid the grips of death. He has only one solution, and unfortunately, you find it to be the most logical and effective one if you want to see there another day. The Cossack removes his clothes, revealing a blob of body completely covered in the same coarse hair that flows from his chin. He lifts, as he lifts the bottom fold of the three, he gingerly guides you within. Once you wedge yourself into the fold, the Cossack's hot, monstrous weight is gently lowered upon your cold body. Even though you will live, daylight is 5 hours away, and you will need to remain there until dawn's sweet light rolls across the Carpathians. While you maintain bittersweet thoughts of your life being spared, you're unable to sleep because of the overwhelming smell of hot, dead skin and fat and sweat and grime that has been collecting since the Cossack bathed 2 weeks prior. How do you pass the time in the gelatinous fold of the Cossack's body until dawn breaks and you are free of this wretched prison of skin?
Oh my God, I don't know what I would do.
You must answer.
I would normally deep breathe and meditate, but that would not be a possibility wrapped in the.
Even the wisest of men can meditate no matter where they are in the distraction that is upon them.
That is true.
It'd be like sleeping in a giant belly button.
Yes.
That is
Do you have anything to coax your psyche while you're inside of the fold flaps? Did you prepare adequately while fleeing?
Probably like a repeating song over and over in my head just to drive everything.
What song would that be? Sing us a verse. Sing this song of the Cossack's flesh.
Oh, I don't know.
You must know.
I don't know. It would have to be in the moment thing, like what I was feeling wrapped in.
What you're feeling is flesh, sweat, and grime
Kind of like
embracing your body.
being in between the sheets.
It would have to be something with.
If the
let me
sheets were
free
flesh.
or
If they
be
were.
free
If
or-
only.
If only they were flesh, yes.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be something that would like freedom of some sort.
There is no freedom, you're trapped in flesh.
Something to give me feel like I'm going to survive and get out from underneath his robe at some point.
So what would you sing? Maybe something from Carly Simon.
No,
Maybe Taylor Swift.
I'll do like
I am the
do
tiger.
freedom from lack of afro or something like that.
Yes. I'm sure the
What a-
Cossack
what a
would enjoy
choice.
that.
What a
You gotta
choice.
get out. You gotta get out.
Are you talking about freedom from George Michael? Listen without
That
prejudice?
one, yeah, that one would be good too. How
Yes.
about wake me up before you go?
That's Wham, not George Michael. There's a difference.
There is. A
There's an
difference.
exclamation mark at the bottom.
What? What? Bottom of what? Wham?
What has an exclamation mark and it's so cool that it has one?
Do what?
You heard him.
Exactly.
Answer the question.
What has an exclamation point?
You clearly do not know the taste in which you speak.
I do not
I
know.
thought you were a proper
I don't know what
man.
you're talking about.
Here we are once again at
Once
our lovely
again.
tea party, and our guest is once again confused by the questions in which we have poured sweatily over.
It's
well,
obvious I've sweated over these
it's-
questions.
Yes, it's clearly we've lost clothing to be here with you
And I
today.
appreciate that. You can put more clothing back on if you like, though. Don't
Oh.
take
What
off
are you?
clothing
Are you
from
not
me.
in our court telling how we should do things.
No, I'm just saying that you do not have to.
You're
take
a
up
guest,
information.
not a master.
They always try this.
Always.
They always try it.
They always lose. Ask him another question, Sergeant.
I think it's time for a kahuna.
Yeah.
If someone hits a power pole and knocks out all the power, where does it go?
Quite a conundrum. This keeps me up late nights.
That's true. That just happened in my house the other night.
It's a scary thought.
I don't know where it goes.
Well, you
Back
must
to
answer
the
the
earth.
question.
Back to the earth, back to the storage facility at the old power company.
Back to life, back to reality.
Maybe.
Snap back.
However do you want it?
I don't know.
However do you need it?
Maybe that's the way we want it.
Maybe evil scientist steals, siphons it off, uses it.
Who is this scientist? What is his name?
Fillmore.
Fillmore?
There's only one Fillmore.
And he's a lovely boy.
He's a
And he
He is a
has
lovely
none-
child.
He's
Why
tricked
would
you
you
all.
mix him in with your
He's tricked you
your
all.
craziness?
He's got you thinking.
He
that
fixed you a delicious glass of tea. He didn't need
It's
to
like
do that.
tea
He
wine.
rubbed your hair. He didn't have to be.
He
that.
introduced you to Cheney. He didn't have to do that.
He was very open with
I
you.
wish he wouldn't have.
He brought me my cigarettes. He didn't have to do that.
He poured your tea.
But what if it's an
He
elaborate
didn't have to
ruse
do
and
that.
that he's just tricking y'all so he can?
Fillmore's the most honest, reliable person that I know. That's why he serves us in this court.
Is that right, Fillmore?
Fillmore! Oh, he's such a beautiful boy.
Oh,
Such a beautiful
you
boy.
hear those clangs? They're just
Yes.
thank you so much, Fillmore, for being here with us today. That's
Now, Fillmore. Be gone! We'll
But
leave
thank you for once coming. We appreciate it. Once, of course.
We did that for his pleasure, if you get my drift.
I believe we don't have too much more to go in this interview.
We thank you for the time in which we haven't learned.
I would like to ask one more question.
Yes, yes.
Are you aware that Scotty doesn't know? And if so, please explain why.
I don't know a lot of stuff. I know very little. I
Yeah,
know
it's
enough
obvious.
to get by.
It's been obvious today.
Yes.
I
Unlike
do
unlike
know.
that one song, you will not get by.
I do know that I love you both, and you're awesome, and I love everybody out there. I do know that.
Thank you, Scotch. We really appreciate it.
Yes,
And
Scoot.
And I have
This
apologized.
tea wine is horrible. I know that.
Now you're insulting our court. I was going to apologize for not allowing you to hookah. I was going to save you the germs in which my ancestors passed on to me, so they didn't get passed on to your ancestors
Well,
later on.
He comes from royalty, sir.
I am an Aztec warrior.
Royalty.
Okay. That's pretty impressive.
Do you like your tea?
It was wonderful.
You want another piece of sugar, don't you?
Sure, give me another
Give
One
him
more
another
piece of sugar.
piece.
You want another piece of sugar?
Give me some
don't you?
sugar.
Now,
Get it off my horns.
Surely one more would not hurt.
Close.
Thank you so much for joining us in our lovely tea party.
Thank you for having me. I'm still not
But-
quite sure what happened or what we're doing, but it was
oh, it's all led up to this, Scott.
Yes.
Fillmore, bring the blindfold.
awesome. Oh no. I don't want to deal with Fillmore and a blindfold.
Oh, yes, you'll deal with more than just a blindfold and Fillmore after this.
Ooh.
Yes, Fillmore. Make
Fillmore, don't get that close to him. Don't
make
do
it
that.
nice and tight.
He
Yeah.
recognizes what that feels like, Fillmore.
Don't go
You
yet,
gotta understand.
Fillmore. Hold on.
If I still
Now.
feel something, pinch me somewhere. I'm out of here.
Now, Fillmore. Now, Scott,
Yes.
place your hand in this pot and tell me, what do you feel?
All right. Where's the pot? Spaghetti.
Man's brain. Be gone, Fillmore.
That was like.
The question is, why do you know what man's brain feels like?
That's what I was wondering. You said the man's brain feels like biscotti. How do you know that it feels like biscotti?
And you also have gonorrhea.
That's true.
And you're a carpet man.
No, do not eat the man's brain, Splendid. We do not practice cannibalism. Not yet.
Make him smarter.
Yes. The world has not turned to ash in such a quick way.
No.
But we are on the court. We do not have to worry about that right now.
No.
As long as people don't get wise and realize they can make meat from the rich. Let's not worry about that until that time comes.
Eating the rich, that sounds lovely.
Squall.
Well,
Here's to eating the rich.
Yes,
I think we've run out of time.
I think we have.
Can I
It's
take
it
this
seems
off?
no.
No, leave it
Who-
on.
Who are you to
We're
think
doing that with Fillmore.
Oh.
This is all for Fillmore at this
This is-
point.
Fillmore.
Fillmore, you don't need to keep getting
Better
that
watch
close to
out
him.
for
He
that
knows
Fillmore.
what things feel
I'm
like.
telling you, better watch out for that boy.
Why would we want to? We love that boy.
He's an evil
He's
scientist.
got
siphoning
dreams.
off
He's a
the
beautiful
riches.
boy with beautiful
He's
dreams.
got aspirations.
He's got goals in life.
He is not a carpet man. He's a chain man.
He might need to be in a special place.
We all.
Yes, like your bed.
Ooh. And that is all that we really have for today on
Our lovely tea party. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you
Goodbye.
so